You are an ape. Night falls. Above you is a safer bed. Below you are leopards, snakes, and darkness. Your ancestors chose below. They climbed down, lay on the ground, and closed their eyes. That should have gotten them killed. Instead, it may have helped make us human. Why? There was no single night when one ancestor announced a new sleeping policy. The change probably happened gradually, as our ancestors spent more of life below the trees. And the bed they were leaving was more advanced than it looks. Chimpanzees bend and weave branches into a springy platform. Orangutans may add a roof or pillow-like bundle. Other great apes build platforms too, in trees or on the ground. This behavior probably began long before humans existed. A platform can lift an animal above wet soil, insects, and many predators. It also stops a heavy ape from balancing directly on one narrow branch all night. But a tree is not a perfect bedroom. Wind moves it, branches limit sleeping positions, and sometimes break. A large group also needs many suitable trees close together. As human ancestors became more terrestrial, returning to the canopy every night may have become less practical. The ground offered unlimited space and a surface that did not sway. But if the ground offered better sleep and easier death, what could make that trade worth taking? The trade became worthwhile only when our ancestors could rebuild safety around the sleeper. On the ground, the danger was real. Leopards have hunted primates. Snakes, insects, cold, rain, and hostile humans added other risks. A sleeping body reacts slowly and advertises where it will remain for hours. But the ground also solved problems that a tree could not. A stable surface lets a large body lie flat. Several adults can sleep beside children. Food, tools, and fuel can remain nearby. A whole group can gather in one place instead of spreading across separate branches. That changed the problem. Safety no longer had to come from height. It could come from things the group placed around itself. There was probably no single first barrier. Rock faces, shallow caves, thorny vegetation, chosen terrain, weapons, and other people could all reduce danger. Later, shelters made the boundary visible. Yet one technology could provide warmth, light, smoke, and a warning signal at the same time. So was fire the invention that finally brought human sleep down from the trees? Fire was probably part of the answer, but the timing is frustratingly unclear. Archaeologists have found burnt material at sites roughly 1.5 million years old. But a burnt patch does not prove that humans made or controlled the fire. Clear hearths become easier to recognize later. Fire use was a long process. Not one brilliant discovery on one convenient Tuesday. Even an imperfectly controlled flame could change a campsite. Light reveals movement, smoke discourages some insects, heat protects a hairless body. Flames may make predators hesitate, while alert humans holding burning branches are more dangerous than sleeping animals in the dark. Fire also changes behavior before sleep. A group can cook, repair tools, share food, and remain socially active after sunset. The campsite becomes a bright center surrounded by darkness. But fire is not a magical force field. It shrinks. Rain weakens it. Fuel runs out. Hungry predators do not sign agreements promising to respect the orange circle. If the fire could die and danger could cross the light, what was the real wall around a sleeping human? The real wall was the group. A lone human has thin skin, small teeth, and no useful claws. Several humans have spears, stones, loud voices, and an interest in keeping one another alive. They can surround a predator, protect children, and wake the camp in seconds. Group sleeping also multiplies sensors. One person may hear movement, another may smell smoke, a child may cry when the temperature drops. Someone returning late may disturb an animal before it reaches the sleeping area. This did not make a camp invulnerable. The point is not that predators feared every sleeping human. Approaching a human camp simply carried a different risk from approaching one isolated animal. The same group also made the ground more comfortable. Bodies shared warmth. Bedding could be gathered and reused. Adults could sleep near children without balancing several separate nests in neighboring trees. But the protection works only while someone can detect the threat. If every adult enters deep sleep at exactly the same moment, 20 sleepers can be nearly as blind as one. So did ancient camps appoint a guard, or was someone already awake without being told? Someone may already have been awake. Humans do not all share one clock. Some people become tired early. Others remain alert late. Older adults often wake earlier than young adults. Parents wake with children, and every sleeper moves through lighter stages and brief awakenings during the night. Researchers studying Hadza hunter-gatherers in Tanzania recorded sleep activity across 20 days. Everyone being monitored was scored as asleep at the same time during only 18 one-minute periods. For almost every other measured minute, at least one person was awake or moving enough to appear awake. That does not mean one heroic guard watched the camp. Different chronotypes and ordinary awakenings produced what researchers called sentinel-like behavior. The group created coverage without a schedule. Larger and more age-diverse groups make this effect stronger. A late-sleeping teenager and an early-waking grandparent may be inconvenient in a modern house, but their different clocks can cover opposite ends of the night. The Hadza are modern people, not Stone Age fossils. Their sleep is not a recording of our ancestors. But the study demonstrates a mechanism requiring no modern technology or commander assigning shifts. Staying partly alert may keep a group alive, but can it also provide the deep, restorative sleep a growing human brain needs? Surprisingly, it can, because the group can be partly awake while each individual still sleeps. Humans are unusual primate sleepers. Comparative studies suggest that we sleep less than expected for our body size, ecology, and evolutionary history. We also devote an unusually large proportion of sleep to REM, the stage associated with vivid dreaming. One proposed explanation is sleep intensity. Stable ground removes the danger of falling from a branch. Fire, shelter, weapons, and companions reduce external threats. Together, they may have allowed sleep to become shorter, more concentrated, and less interrupted. This is called the tree-to-ground sleep hypothesis. It is an attractive idea, not a recovered memory from prehistory. We cannot measure the brain waves of Homo erectus, and ground sleeping did not single-handedly create human intelligence. Sleep matters for learning, memory, emotional regulation, and physical repair. If external safety improved restorative sleep, a small advantage repeated across thousands of generations could have mattered. There was another benefit. Shorter sleep leaves more waking time. And once fire made part of the night usable, that time did not have to be spent only scanning for eyes in the grass. Once humans could sleep more safely on the ground, did the night give them something more valuable than rest? It may have given them time together. Studies of present-day small-scale societies show that people do not necessarily sleep at sunset. In 3 groups without electric lighting, sleep began on average more than 3 hours later. The interval included cooking, conversation, and social activity around small fires. Again, this is not a video of the Paleolithic, but it reveals what becomes possible when a diurnal primate controls light and feels safe enough to remain awake after dark. Daylight is busy with travel, food, children, and immediate problems. Around a fire, movement slows. An adult can demonstrate a tool. A grandparent can repeat a story. Plans can be made, and relationships repaired or damaged with everyone close enough to listen. Researchers have proposed that firelit evenings expanded storytelling, ritual, teaching, or social bonding. That is difficult to prove, and fire did not invent language. But a protected night created a new social space rarely used in the same way by other daytime primates. The dangerous ground had produced an unexpected return. Humans did not merely survive below the trees. They gained a place where a group could sleep, wake, talk, and protect itself together. We left the canopy, but did we really leave the nest behind? No, we moved the nest and rebuilt it with technology. Look at a modern bedroom as if it were unfamiliar. The mattress is a manufactured sleeping platform. The blanket provides insulation once supplied by leaves, fur, or another body. Walls block wind and conceal you. The roof replaces the canopy. The door controls who can enter. Even the rules remain. We choose a safe location, arrange soft material, and repeat a preparation ritual. Children often resist sleeping alone. Adults may sleep differently in an unfamiliar room, and the first night can keep part of the brain more responsive to unusual sounds. Humans did not descend because the ground became harmless. We descended because our ancestors became capable of carrying safety with them. Height was replaced by fire, weapons, and shelter. Above all, individual safety was reinforced by collective awareness. People slept and woke at different times, turning one of the most vulnerable moments in animal life into a shared system. That system may have allowed more stable sleep and freed more of the night. Darkness became a place for warmth, memory, stories, plans, and eventually bedrooms separated from the wilderness outside. Tonight, when you close a door, pull up a blanket, and place your head on a platform built above the floor, you are not doing something entirely modern. You are completing an ancient engineering project, building a tree nest on the ground. But if humans learn to sleep inside a protected group, why do so many of us now try to sleep completely alone?